They say the truth hurts. We've heard that, I think, as a little kid. We've heard it. The truth hurts. Somebody says something that you don't like to hear about yourself. You say, man, that hurt my feelings. Well, the truth hurts, doesn't it? You've heard it. I'm sure you have. Almost everybody has. Well, the truth hurts. But in this case, the truth does hurt. But in this world of soft lies and hard hearts, the truth doesn't just hurt. It offends. And maybe no truth offends more than this. God has a chosen people. And he keeps his promises to them. And that's why the world hates Israel. I got right to the point quick, didn't I? I just got the company that I pay to do ads for me on YouTube told me that 2 of the ads got rejected by YouTube because they don't want to hear about it. I told you, join on Rumble too. Hey, join on YouTube, join on Rumble. I'm telling you right now, the time is coming where Rumble's going to be all we have. We can stream to the other locations, but I'm not confident at all in YouTube. God does have a chosen people. He has a chosen people. In Scripture, this is so clear. He keeps his promises. To his chosen people. The race of his Son. The race of our Redeemer. The religion of his Son. The religion of our Redeemer. Yeshua wasn't Jewish. He is Jewish. And Yeshua keeps his promises to the Jews. Hashem keeps his promises to the Jews. That's why the world hates Israel. There's more reasons I'm going to give you, but that's why. It's not because of land. Don't fall for that. That's a bunch of bull. Hello to everybody, by the way. Chai Israel. Look, it's not because of land. It's not a piece of land that they wanted. They really, really wanted it. But it's mine. No, it's not about that at all. Not remotely. Let me know how the sound is if you get a chance. Thank you very much. It's not about land. Has nothing to do with land. They say it does, but it doesn't. It's not because of policy. They say it is, but it isn't. The reason is because Israel is a walking, breathing testimony that Hashem, Yehovah, remembers his covenant. Adonai Elohim. Thank you, alarm guy on the sound. Appreciate it. Again, welcome everybody. If you're in rebellion against God, you're going to rage against the people who carry his name. I'm just going to say that. They say don't put the big thing up front because then people will turn off. Believe me, if you think this is it, hang on, buckle up. Here it comes. These people rage. Look, they're in a total rebellion against God. I don't mean that they're not perfect. I don't mean that they're not sinless. I mean that they're in a complete rage against God. And therefore, they're in a complete rage against the people who carry his name? Why are Jewish students being shouted down and assaulted in Ivy League campuses? Why are synagogues in cities like New York, very Jewish city, Los Angeles, very, very Jewish city, and Berlin building themselves like bunkers? This is what's happening. This is the reality. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. This is the reality. Why are influencers, political voices, even some popular Christian leaders mocking or minimizing Jewish suffering? Because the ancient hatred never died. It simply changed masks. There was a singer who was leading chants about death to Israel, death to the IDF and all this stuff. He's a big-time band, apparently. It's not my genre. Big time. Real big time. And he's here on a visa. Well, guess what? Marco Rubio, Secretary Rubio said, let's just mark your visa with a little red X. You'll not be back. Oh, I hope you saved up some of those Jewish dollars. I hope you saved up some of those Western dollars. I hope you did. These people have had masks on. This isn't a new thing. This anti-Semitism is not a new thing. We feel like it is because we're seeing it everywhere we look. The reality is they've taken their masks off. Because the ancient hatred never died. It simply changed masks. And you know what? This isn't about politics either. It isn't. Don't believe the story about it's about borders. This is warfare. From Pharaoh to Haman to Hitler to Hamas. From Rome to woke academia. The agenda is always the same. Erase the covenant people so the covenant of God looks like a lie. But here's what hell fears. You cannot cancel what God has called eternal. Today I'm going to take you into why the world hates Israel historically, spiritually, prophetically, and geopolitically. I am not going to pull any punches. We're going to strip back the lies. We're going to follow the thread of hatred from Eden to today. And we'll stand together on the word, capital W. Because this hatred isn't just about them. It's about us. It's about the king. And it's about where you stand in the final war for truth. Welcome. It's where biblical truth comes alive through original languages, Hebraic context, and real-life application. Subscribe, follow. Let's dive into this word together. By the way, this is brought to you by my book, True Word Faith for Life. It's a bold, unapologetic journey through the scriptures that will challenge everything you thought you knew about the Bible. The book isn't watered down. Doesn't bend to church tradition. It goes straight to the Hebrew, Aramaic, and the context, and right to the covenant. Just scan the QR code on the screen you're seeing now, or go to lulu.com/store/Shawn Michael Greener, I think. I don't know. It's easiest to just scan the screen. So we're going to dive deep. We're going to dive a lot deeper, and we're going to live a lot deeper. So here's the thing. I want to portray this to you. I want you to really, 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 really get this. You know, I talk about masters all the time. Masters International University of Divinity. Dr. Moen was one of several professors, not the least of which was Dr. Fry, the founder and president, He's the president emeritus now after a stroke, and love him. And Dr. Frazier, wonderful, wonderful person, and Dr. Cheryl Durham, love her. But the most profound experience I ever had was hearing something I'd never heard. Never. I had never heard any of what Dr. Moen was saying. And at first I was like, nope. If I believe this, if I listen to this guy, holy moly, I'm going to change everything. That's going to change everything in my life. mdivs.edu. If you mention my name for one of the certificate programs, 10% off. They'll give you 10% off. Just say Dr. Shawn Michael Greener. Or you can say Shawn Michael Greener. You can say Shawn. You can say Shawn Greener. You can say Mr. Shawn. You can say Greener. You can say True Word Faith for Life with Dr. Shawn. You can say whatever you want. Just let them know it's me. They'll give you 10% off, which is awesome. Anyway, on certificate programs. But I want you to really understand here. I want you to really, really understand here what's going on, right? Because if we don't pay attention to this, if we don't really, really get what's happening here, anti-Semitism, I hate to use that word sometimes because it seems so watered down. It seems so. I don't even know what to say. It seems so sanitized, so clinical. Anti-Semitism. Jew hater. That's what I'd prefer to say. Jew hater. And they don't just hate the Jews, understand this. They don't just hate the Jews, my friends. They also want the Jews to die. I know there's nothing at all easy about hearing that. That seems so over the top, Dr. Shawn. It seems just so, my goodness, Dr. Shawn, that just seems so, it's just too much. It's too much. It's over and above what our minds will comprehend. I've trained people in very high-risk jobs. I've trained them, and I always tell them there's two things won't save your life. The telephone won't save your life, neither will your radio. So if you're a police officer or you're a person that has a radio, first thing you reach for when you realize, oh boy, I'm in the soup now, isn't your radio, it isn't your phone. And it's the same way for people. And then I used to do these seminars called Looking Forward to Being Attacked and Anticipating Attack. These were for women. I would do them huge, thousands of women. And I loved doing them. And this seminar, I would explain to them, you've got to get your mind right. I would explain to the audience, you got to get your mind right. You got to understand this one very powerful thing. If you're under attack, if you are under attack and you are, for whatever reason, you're standing there looking at your attacker, saying, why? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You aren't fighting for your life. You were fighting for your life. You'll be a victim. You will absolutely be a victim. We hear this. John, you're absolutely right. It's blatant hatred. We hear this. We hear them say these things. We see Ilhan Omar. We see AOC. We see Rashida Tlaib. All people in our Congress. We see these people. And we hear them say these things. Rashida Tlaib actually has the Palestinian flag outside her office, in the Capitol, in Congress. Are you listening? Keith Ellison used to be in our Congress. He's now the Attorney General in Minnesota. Pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine. And you see people that don't know any better, comedians actually that I like. Comedians and singers and performers and different things. They don't know. They're uneducated. I mentioned before about Theo Vaughn. He just can't comprehend that what happened in Gaza, what Israel had to do in Gaza, was at the end of decades. Israel fed them. Israel paid for their electric. Israel paid for their water. They got trillions of dollars. And what they did instead was they turned them into missiles and tunnels. And they hung out and shot rockets from hospitals and schools. That's what they do. Sometimes, and this is what I'm getting at, sometimes the death cult, the hatred, the desire for them to die, is the awfulness is so strong that no one could ever conceive of it. And so because you can't conceive of it, just like if you're being attacked, just like I would teach the ladies, listen, immediately get off of that. Why is this happening to me? Don't say to your attacker, why are you doing this to me? Fight for your life. Fight for your life. Fight like you've never fought before. Understand that it is happening. This is real. It's one of the first things I tell people. This is real. For whatever reason, people a lot of times call me right at the point of the immediacy of that bad, terrible thing happening. They pick up the phone and they call me literally from where it's happening. And they say, what do I do? And the first thing I say to them is, this is happening. Just understand, this is happening. You're in it. Now you got to survive it. This is what you need to do. These are the steps. Stand up straight, take some deep breaths. Let's go. But when something is this horrific, this unimaginable, our mind goes into a neutral gear. We just can't imagine the horrific, demonic way one human being is treating another. We just happen to be the human being that's the one being attacked. That's why I called my seminars looking forward to being attacked and anticipating attack. Your mindset has to be, it can happen. And I'm going to be ready as I can be. The ancient hatred, anti-Semitism, Jew hate, didn't start in Germany. That's a lot of people think that it started in Germany. It didn't. It didn't begin in Eastern Europe. It didn't even begin with Pharaoh. It began in Genesis 3:15 when Hashem, Yehovah, Adonai Elohim, declared war on the seed of the serpent and announced that deliverance would come through the seed of a woman. And from that moment, the enemy has been trying to cut off the line. Pharaoh tried to murder every Hebrew male. Can we even imagine the scale of that? Pharaoh tried to murder every single Hebrew male. Amalek attacked the vulnerable in the wilderness. Haman plotted genocide in Persia. Rome tried to erase Jewish identity through exile. And the institutional church introduced replacement theology. Have you ever heard that term? Are you listening? The institutional church introduced replacement theology. It is a poisonous doctrine that says God is finished with Israel and has given all their promises to the church. But Paul corrects that lie in Romans 11. They are beloved for the sake of the fathers, for the gifts and calling of God are irrevocable. Jew hatred, anti-Semitism, it's not logical. It's spiritual. It's not based in economics or politics. It's rooted in the hatred of covenant evidence. The modern day faces of an ancient lie today. Anti-Semitism is more socially acceptable than ever. Are you listening? Jew hatred, calling for the death of an entire nation, an entire ethnic group. And those people walk around like it's nothing. And people walk by them. People drive by them. They're in our Congress. Anti-Semitism, Jew hatred, more acceptable than it ever was. Even more than Nazi Germany, and it's hiding in plain sight. In woke academia, Israel is demonized as a colonizer, despite having the oldest continuous claim to the land. And you know, I play these videos for Miss Colleen. Her favorite thing ever, YouTube. No. But I play these videos for her, and I know that they sink in because sometimes she'll ask me about them later on. And in some of these videos, and like for instance, I show her this one person who walks through places. They don't say anything. They just have a high definition camera, I guess, attached to them, and they just walk. They walk. They get their steps in. Let me tell you. And they were doing Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and then Old Jerusalem, the old city. It's peaceful. It's clean. The only time it's not peaceful is when Muslims are trying to blow up innocent people. They call them colonizers. Despite the fact that in these videos, and I show them to Miss Colleen all the time, and I say, what do you notice here? And there's people in full hijab, full burqa, just their eyes, just a little slit for their eyes walking by, living in the same place. As long as you promise not to blow us up, we're good. They can vote. They can have businesses. Colonizers. There's only one reason why. And you know, I'll tell you this. I didn't want to get into this, but I don't have to. Several episodes ago, I talked about when the IDF cleared out the settlements, the Jewish settlements in Gaza. They cleared them out. They said, you got to go. We're turning this joint over to them. They say they want their own land. Okay. We're going to see how they do with their own land. Come on. Then they tore their apartments down. He said, load up your stuff. We'll carry it for you in trucks and on trailers, and we'll get it out of here for you. Well, where are we going to go? We don't want to leave. Well, you got to, because we're giving it to the Muslims. We're giving it to Hamas. We're giving it to And by the way, I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. Don't ever think that there's this innocent group of people in Gaza and on the West Bank. No. Hundreds of thousands of people were there cheering when the raped, bleeding to death women, people with arms blown off from October 7th, cheering in a sexual fervor from little all the way up to old people. The people that were hostages, families, people that worked for UNRWA, held hostages. And there's still hostages there now, and you wonder why they don't just blow the place up. That'd be the easiest solution. When I was on in a radio station in I think it's Israeli National Radio, as a guest, and they said, as an anti-terrorism expert, what is the solution here? And I said, bomb them to glass. Sorry, not sorry. Bomb them to glass. You said that's so mean. That's so final. What about the innocent little children who they don't know any better? Taught from the cradle. So they call them colonizers. They have the oldest continuous claim to the land, documented claim to the land. It stood the test of time like no other claim. In Islamist ideology, hatred of Jews is preached in pulpits. It's preached in classrooms. It's preached in preschools. It's on state-run television. They have cartoons for little children where little Muslims, little Hamases, little jihadists stab little Jew children to death. Yay! Yay! Why is the party? Why are you having a party? Because I killed a Jew. Literally. By the way, this will be taken off. This will be taken off of YouTube. This will only, because I said all that stuff, this will only exist. We'll see how long it stays up. In white nationalism, Jews are blamed for every single conspiracy. It's unreal to me. And I see people that don't know what they're doing. Maybe they do. I should give them more credit. But I hear people go on this whole banking thing. Well, it's the Jews. To immigration policy. Well, it's the Jews. And you know what? In the conspiracy world, ancient blood libels are rebranded into Zionist globalism, cabal control, media manipulation. Even I mentioned this a little bit last night in the episode last night. Even some Christian voices. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Muhammad Hijab is by no means Christian. He's a Muslim apologist. But they dabble in tropes about Jewish influence and control. Listen, Tucker Carlson isn't, that I know of, wearing swastikas, and I don't think Candace Owens is either, but they might as well be. The spirit they flirt with is just as old. It's just as demonic. So why do people hate the Jews? Why is there so much Jew hatred? Because they survive. For thousands of years, people have been trying to kill the Jews, and still they're here. Still they're inventing. Still they're creating. Still they're doing great things for mankind. And yet, there's still massive groups of people trying to kill them. Part of the reason why they want to kill them is because they survive. Because they flourish, because they remind the world that there is a God who chooses, who blesses, who judges, and who doesn't forget his covenants. And that makes an unrepentant world furious. Let's talk plain truth. There's a geopolitical war against Israel. Israel is hated by the nations for even just existing. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. It's not perfect. Benjamin Netanyahu, not perfect. Their government, not perfect. They don't do everything perfect, neither do we. And yet, Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, and yet she thrives economically. She thrives technologically. She thrives agriculturally in a land where most nations fail, in the middle of hot desert. It is an oasis. And you know what? Israel is a thorn in the side of Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and the UN. Oh, whoa. I said the UN. Did he mean to say UN? Yeah, I did. Why? Because they know Israel. Listen, the UN hates Israel. They hate them. Don't let anybody tell you. Tucker Carlson will say, and Candace Owens will say, well, it's all the money we send to them. It's all the money we send to Israel. That's what we have a problem with. We have a problem with sending our wealth of our children and grandchildren to Israel when they do such horrible things. They don't. If they wanted to obliterate every human being in Gaza and the West Bank, and as far as the original lands that God gave them could see, they could do it. They could do it. Don't let them tell you. Don't let them tell you that it's about something that it's not. Why they hate so hard? Because they know Israel's the physical sign of God's promises. Israel also happens to be America's greatest ally, militarily, technologically, and spiritually. Not for nothing. Let's just put this out there. Yeah, we send an awful lot of armament to Israel. And you know what they do? They pay us. Unlike Ukraine, not in every instance, but in many of the instances, the gazillions of dollars that we've sent Ukraine, which, by the way, I don't begrudge if we know where the money and all that's going. Don't have an issue. But here's the thing. And I love people on both sides of that border. They want nothing to do with that war. They don't want that war. I'm told millions of people have died in this war. Russia, Ukraine. That seems impossible, right? I don't know if that number is accurate. But I know one of the most beautiful places on the planet happens to be Ukraine. Some of the most beautiful, most talented people, Ukraine and Russia. Brilliant human beings. There's a big difference. It's apples and aardvarks when you say, well, we send so much armament over there, so many bombs and so many jets and all that. They pay for them. Israel pays for them. They're America's greatest ally. Why? Because militarily, they invent much of the technology that we build. They have patents on most of it, much of it. Technologically, they are so advanced technologically, it's unbelievable. You get a heart stent, thank Israel. Mechanical valve, thank Israel. The list could go on. I could be here all night. With what they've invented, what they've patented, what they've developed. But not just militarily, technologically, but also spiritually. Because that very alliance is why she is constantly in the crosshairs. To hate America, you have to attack Israel. To undermine Western values, you target the Jewish root. But don't miss this. Take a deep breath. Breathe it in. Don't miss this. You ready? Israel is the only restraint in the region keeping it from descending into total chaos. You say, I don't care. It's so far away. My friends, if the Middle East goes into total chaos, let me know how you like $12 to $15 a gallon gasoline. Let me know how you like not having medical advancements, medicine, saving lives. Let me know how you like that. Let me know how you like Iran getting a nuclear weapon. They only want nuclear one reason and one reason alone: to turn it into warheads, to put it on missiles, to kill and obliterate Israel, and to kill and obliterate the United States. You want the region to descend into total chaos? The only thing stopping them is Israel. You remove Israel, you've removed the firewall. Are you listening? Now, it gets harder from here. There's a lot of scapegoating going on. There's a lot of envy going on. And then again, there's the UN. I alluded to this a minute ago, but see if you can handle this. Israel has more Nobel Prizes per capita than any other nation on earth. In fact, it has more than 10 nations. The 10 next most prominent nations in Nobel Prizes combined. Israel has pioneered advances in medicine, agriculture, water conservation, cybersecurity, and disaster relief. Israel has sent humanitarian aid to nations that publicly denounce her, that say they want to kill them. Up until a certain point, Israel they were fighting with Gaza. They were fighting with Hamas. They were fighting with the West Bank. And they were still sending medicine, food, and water. The press doesn't want you to know that. The world press doesn't want you to know that. Why? Because they also hate Jews. They also hate Jews. They would drop leaflets in buildings where they knew there were missiles. They knew there were entrances to tunnels, hospitals, schools. All of these things. They knew it. They don't use their weapons to shield people. They use people to shield their weapons. Israel fed, clothed, gave water to their enemies. And what does Israel get for that? They were condemned more at the United Nations than North Korea, China, or Iran combined. Are you listening? Did you hear that? What she got. Hello to Twitch, by the way. I forgot to say hi to Twitch and X and Facebook and all the different places we're streaming live, but hello. Appreciate you joining. Hello to Rumble, our Rumble audience. We appreciate you. We need you. Again, very nervous. Very, very nervous about what's going to happen with YouTube. Not kidding. I'm going to say this again. For all of those things that Israel has done, good, humanitarian, life-saving, even to the people that are trying to kill them, they've been condemned more at the United Nations than Korea, North Korea, China, and Iran combined. Why? Why? Because the world doesn't hate injustice. The world hates the visible favor of God. The visible favor of God. And Israel is Exhibit A. That's why she's blamed for everything. Wars, economic collapses, political corruption. That's why phrases like "from the river to the sea" are normalized by protesters, rioters, influencers, and even Congress people. Friends, don't fall for that term, that watered-down term. Well, they're an activist. They're a community organizer. They're an activist. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Let the dumb people fall for that. Don't you fall for it. This isn't activism. It isn't community organizing. It's nothing of the sort. It's a genocidal chant born in the pit of hell, dressed up in hashtags and trending slogans. Now, I dabbled. I just dipped our toes in it. Now we're going deeper. Israel has a humanitarian record and moral light, and it's so contrasting. While Hamas hides behind children, Israel warns civilians before striking. They drop leaflets. They tell them a missile's going to hit here. Our aircraft is going to hit here at such and such a time. You're welcome to Sacred Backyard or whatever your handle is in Twitch, whatever you like. Unless it's ignorant or crude or anti-Israel, anti-Jew, then you get banned. Oh, it's not free speech. That's not how it works here. But I appreciate you joining us. Hamas hides behind children. Israel is fighting for its existence. They didn't fling bombs just because, well, we got these bombs laying around. What are we going to do with these? These are cluttering up the place. Tell you what, let's fling them into Gaza. Let's fling them into the West Bank. Let's fling them into Lebanon. Let's fling them into Yemen. I mean, it's cluttering up the place. Clean this place up. No. They got attacked on October 7th, the likes of which they'd never experienced. It was their 9/11. Worse, per capita. And they still have hostages. And we have the nerve to tell them, no, don't do this. They still have hostages, whether alive or otherwise. They have every right to go in there and level the place. Israel actually warns civilians before striking, while Iran funds terror. Israel develops cancer treatments. Many of the chemotherapies and most of the radiation, the advancements in radiation, and most of the chemotherapeutic drugs have been invented in Israel. While Gaza fires rockets, Israel sends medical supplies. While the world screams apartheid, Israel elevates Arab Muslims to their Supreme Court. There are Arab Muslims in the Supreme Court in Israel. Apartheid, come on. Stupid. There are Arab Muslims in their parliament, in the Knesset. I'm not saying Israel's perfect. No. But I tell you what Israel is. She's prophetic. Her moral record rebukes the world's darkness with light. Okay, so take some deep breaths. You want to go deeper than the headlines and the heresies? My book, True Word, Faith for Life, it'll take you straight into Scripture, differently than I think you've ever read it before, as it was meant to be understood. We unpack prophecy, Hebrew thought, covenantal identity, end-time truths, with clarity, with boldness. Now, here's the thing. I was told I was terminally ill. Miss Colleen will know the age. I don't remember how old was I. I don't remember it now. I think I'm going to be 60 in September. Yeah. But I don't remember when they said that. Several doctors have said that over time. Well, you're terminal. And I remember, I read the Bible constantly, relatively constantly. I go to sleep with the Bible playing in my head, literally. I use this app. They don't pay me. They don't know I'm saying it. Called Dwell. It's not a commercial for Dwell. It's a commercial for my book. But I wrote that book believing it was the last time. I think it was, at that point, it was the 38th time. 34th or 38th time I'd read all the way through the Bible. And you know, it's not a commentary by any means. But what it is what was on my heart. How did these scriptures hit me? And they're very quick, despite how long I take to do what I do. Now, part of the reason it takes so long, some people go, well, you know, I don't listen to anything longer than 7 minutes. Well, I'm not for you. I'm not for you. God didn't call me that. He called me to teach in deep. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. What's your goal here, SCR Backyard? What's your goal? Go ahead and get it out. You have nothing else to do? What's the deal here? So the book, the Bible hit me a certain way differently. It was differently. You get told, hey man, this is going to be the last time you read this thing. Well, this isn't the place to have a chat. I just want to have a chat. We're delivering a thing here. Over the last 15 years, Miss Colleen said we've heard it several times in the last 15 years that I was terminally ill by many different doctors, some of which were world-class specialists. I'm still here for whatever reason. Don't know why. But part of the reason is it's not that I'm a sinless dude. It's not that I don't have hurts, habits, and hang-ups. I have plenty. It's not that I'm somehow better than anybody else, because believe you me, I'm not. But the fact of the matter of it is, when I wrote True Word Faith for Life, it's a different kind of book. Many of you have the book, and I appreciate you buying it more than you'll ever know. Anybody, any of the proceeds go to this ministry. Any of the profits go to this ministry. And if you scan the QR code, if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, anywhere where you can see the screen, if you scan it, you can just take a screenshot of it if you want, and then you can scan it, and later on, and you can order. It takes you right to the order form for the book. I'd appreciate it. You know, it's a big deal. It's not cheap. It's textbook quality. It's designed to last for a very, very long time. Very long time. And I'm honored if you do it. Listen, beloved Qehillah, this isn't a debate. This is a decision. Will you stand with Israel? Will you stand with Israel? Will you stand with Israel? Not just in politics, but in spirit. Will you stand with Israel? Will you bless what God has called blessed? Will you speak out when the world turns its weapons, both digital and literal, against the people of the covenant? The hatred of Israel is the hatred of God's redemptive plan. If you call yourself a follower of the way, that's what I call myself. I don't call myself Baptist. I don't call nothing against them. I don't call myself Methodist. Ain't nothing against them. My great grandfather Elijah Covington brought the Methodist faith from England to the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Founded 18 churches. My family owned several of them. I'm not anti-Methodist. I don't call myself Episcopalian, Catholic, any of those things. I am a follower of the way. I'm a follower of the way, and I'm figuring it out as I go along. I'm learning more and more every day. But if you call yourself a follower of the way, you've been grafted into this plan. You've been grafted into this plan. It's time to decide, to resolve, and to stand. So stand up. boldly. Don't be afraid. They're not grafted into us, we're grafted into them. Amen, Ted. Don't be afraid to stand. No matter the cost, no matter the circumstances, no matter the location, no matter what's happening, don't be afraid to stand. Speak boldly. Pray fervently for Israel. Give sacrificially. I just bought a course today. I need another course. I bought a course today to help. Think about. I want you to think about this. There's a certain group that you turn 18, you have to serve. You have obligations. Now, if you're a pacifist, they don't put you on the front lines. Okay, what can you do? Well, I can't do anything. I'm stupid. Well, then you feed people. Then you just dip food into a thing. Whatever. That's the thing. You serve your country. I'm not opposed to it, by the way. I tell you, under this new administration and the new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, all the military services are exceeding their guidelines. Exceeding their goals for recruitment. And now they're getting a better quality recruit, 75%. The average military age male cannot qualify for military service because they're unfit. That's humbling. But I want you to imagine this. Picture this. Deep breath. Think about this. People left their homes in America and in other places around the world where they're not under threat. And they went they got on a plane spending their money and they flew to Israel and they said, "Give me my uniform. Give me my firearm. Let's go. I'm ready to serve." And many of them lost their lives. Imagine that. But I want you to also imagine the people in Israel, the business owners, doctors, attorneys, inventors, all of these things. All of these different important things. Restaurant owners, clothing manufacturers, building, construction supervisors, general contractors, paving contractors, stone cutters. They have to leave their shops. They have to leave their businesses. They have to, large and small. And they go and serve, and many of the places are shuttered. They're just closed down. They say, "Hey, I can't, you stay safe too. Thank you for dipping in." SCR Backyard, XRD. Appreciate it. From Twitch. I don't understand Twitch. I don't know anything about it. I just got put on it and I don't understand it. I know there's a hashtag or some group just chatting. I don't know. I don't know if there's another one I should be. I don't even know how to really go on it. Anyway. Imagine that. They leave and they go fight. I mean, that's mind-boggling, right? No income. Companies that assemble things, so many of the people that assemble those things are off to war. Not, oh man, they're forcing me to go. They're like, let's do this. Let's do this. So when you buy Israeli things made in Israel, you're helping the Israeli people. You're helping the Israeli people. You're helping them survive. So that's why I did the course today. I paid the annual fee instead of paying monthly. They need it. It's a small amount. They need help. They're a tiny nation the size of New Jersey, for Pete's sake. I talked yesterday. I don't know if you guys heard that. I talked yesterday. If you haven't, it's free. It's free to, it doesn't cost you anything. You can give if you want to. If you're on Rumble, you can click on the dollar or the gift or whatever. YouTube, you can click on stuff and it gives money. I'm not sure exactly how, but it does. But Aliyah, Antisemitism, and the End Times. That was yesterday. Our next show is on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you guys like the different time. I don't know. I don't know if it's a better time or it's not. I just know the algorithm people said, hey, man, that's a horrible time to be on. There may be a few people that can listen, but rare small group. And they can always listen on playback if they don't choose to listen at 7 o'clock on Mondays. I appreciate every one of you. I really do. It is, it's no small thing. It's no small thing to me that you take time to listen. So I spoke about giving sacrificially, but above all, never be ashamed of standing with the people of the book and the God who wrote it. See you on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thanks for tuning in to True Word, Faith for Life with Dr. Shawn, teaching the Bible as it was meant to be understood for a life that truly matters. Join us next time for more life-changing truth. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up and subscribing.